This podcast was brought to you by the word sustainability.
What does success mean to you?
Oh, well, that's changed a lot in the last couple of months, writing this show.
What does it mean to you now? Right now?
Yeah, just enjoying the process and simplifying. I love writing songs. I live to write songs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. And success now for me is about sustainability. I've kind of done all of those loud and proud big things that I wanted to achieve within this particular circuit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to find a sustainable way to keep making the work that I love to make that isn't as constantly emotionally taxing or financially draining. That's the new version of success.
So the answer to that is to lower your expectations?
Yeah, I think so. Well, also, like you were saying before, just to stop. Every now and again, because you get trapped in a cycle of like going from this festival to this festival and then doing that loop, doing that circuit. You never get to stop and imagine what happens outside of that, or how your work can have a context in a place where it perhaps is better suited. Or like this year I'm stopping to record an album and put some music to it. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because like creativity has such highs and lows in itself, in the nature of that process. So within that that roller coaster of creating, and the summer and winter of those parts of the cycle, it's a journey in itself to find sustainability in that output and nurturing yourself, and then the financial sustainability is a whole secondary journey that has to fit in with all of that.
Okay, yeah.
Toast one.
Toast two. Do you have a warm up routine that you like to do? Do you do tongue twisters and stuff?
Yeah, I do some tongue twister. That's what
you say the word tongue twister just to warm up.
I do some stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't done them yet.
You haven't done them yet?
I haven't done them yet.
Okay.
I do. A lot of my lyrics are tongue twisters in themselves, so I just
fantastic.
kind of start them slowly, and sometimes sing about dead people.
So
Try and channel the ghosts of the theatre.
Dead people?
Yeah, ghosts.
Do you see much ghosts backstage at the theatres? Any stories to share?
I haven't seen many theatre ghosts, no. I also really enjoy yelling into the ear of my sidekick at the moment, my accompanist.
Yes.
Because he gets very aggressive, and there's something good about that tension, although sometimes I realise I push it a bit too far and he tries to get his own back in our slapstick kung fu scene that happens at the end of the show.
Oh, he gets his revenge.
He does, but he serves it cold. Wait till the end of the show.
It's kind of a lot like taking the piss out of the MC, I find, with the stand-up as an act. Because you know that when you get off stage, the MC is going to have the microphone. And you're going to cop it back.
You're going to cop it back.
Yeah.
It's also like not being friendly to your technical staff who can turn your microphones off. Like that's a good lesson to learn early.
That is a great lesson. That's a life lesson. I teach that as a life coach.
Do you?
Yeah, never fuck with the sound guy.
Never fuck with the sound guy. But the sound guy fucked with me on Friday night. Well, it was not his fault, and it's really hard to remember that in the heat of the moment. Because you want to blame a person. I don't know why. It's just an instinct. You want to go, hey, you've ruined my life right now. But
Human
really,
nature, isn't it? You need something to blame.
Yeah, but you just gotta breathe. It's like that was on Friday night, and it doesn't happen so much anymore because you get to a level of like professionalism, and you're performing in certain venues in a certain level or class of venue, that things are sort of there are more checks and balances. So those technical things you'd think don't happen quite so often. However, I lived the actual real life nightmare, not the not wearing pants one, the nothing working one.
Did you want to share this nightmare with us, or is it too much? Is it going to trigger you?
Well, I've got my sunglasses on, so if I cry,
good.
I guess,
That's why we wear them.
Yeah. It was, VIP opening night. I'd invited all of the people that I thought might help, give the show a bit more of a future. Venue programmers, some media, celebrities or people who say they're celebrities and get lots of tickets to these type of things. I had that nice big crowd opening night, nearly a full house, so 100 people in. They're all waiting out the front. We had a 15-minute changeover between the act before us.
Oh, you're going to love that, don't you?
Oh, it's a fun time. Get the adrenaline
show business
pumping.
is show business.
Yeah,
the
in and out.
going to make money.
That's right. Got everything in place and and I've done my tongue twisters, tip of the tongue and the teeth and the lips and whatnot, and I'm all ready to go. And nothing worked. So they were like, yep, hold the doors, and the people are lining up.
Yeah.
Hold the doors. Couldn't get the projector to work. Hold the doors. Then they phone in the main people from, who run the whole technical department. They come down, nope. Turn it off and on again, nope. I turn it off and on again, run some new wires, nope. For 40 minutes, still,
Shit.
all the VIPs still waiting in the line, and 45 minutes, and then they go, sorry, the show can't go ahead. So please go outside and let your audience know that there will be no show tonight after 45 minutes of waiting.
Is that the first time you've ever had to
Never
do that?
had to do that, never.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It was, and it really, it's like, you think, do you have nightmares to prepare you for that? Because, it's that feeling of they're all waiting and just everything's falling apart and it's not going right. But I don't feel like, even though I've been there before multiple times in my dream, I didn't feel like that did anything to help me prepare me emotionally. I suppose I didn't run around like a chicken with its head cut off, so perhaps I would have done that if I hadn't have had that training in my dream times.
Yeah, how many times have you had that oncoming dream?
Oh, it pops up every now and again. There's always something different that's going wrong and people are waiting and, do you do the show and risk it all falling apart on stage, or do you send them all home, or,
It's really interesting. Did you find that reality was a lot easier to handle than it was in your dreams? Or did you try and wake up from it? Did you go, this is a dream?
Yeah, so I was pinching my arm like
Were you?
nobody's business. Like, come on, this isn't real. This doesn't happen.
Yeah, how fucked up is it when you can't just wake up in your bed?
It's so annoying. Damn it. Where's the off? Where's the out switch?
Yeah.
Where's the escape pod?
That's right. I want it.
But, I guess that's the thing. It's like, it's not life and death. And you go, well, that's always the thing that I thought would be the worst thing.
Yeah. And did you know what?
And everyone survived and they all went home and everyone was mildly disappointed and I was quite disappointed. But then I woke up the next day and the show went on the next day. So...
And it was a killer show.
It was a great show.
That's right. And the
so
other
much
show,
build-up.
And the other show... Sorry. You off.
What? Yeah, no, that's fine.
No, I was just going to say the other show, people are going to talk about that for weeks now.
Oh, weeks, yeah.
If it was a killer show, they might talk about it for a couple of days.
That's right. They'll just be like, that Anya Anastasia, she kept us waiting.
Yeah.
Who does she think she is? Some kind of superstar? Oh, probably just didn't feel like doing the show. Wasn't in the mood.
Were you in character at the time?
I was. I rampaged out sobbing into the foyer in a over-the-top manner.
Fantastic.
And stood on top of the piano that was in the foyer, yelling and screaming about them not letting me do my show and how upset I was. Threw myself down on the piano and screamed for my accompanist Gareth to come out, and he started playing, and we serenaded the waiting audience and demanded that the bar give them free drinks. And
yeah, it's just all part of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
This is this is exactly going to plan. This is it. I mean, you don't get this on most nights. This is the VIP treatment. We keep you waiting. We tease you, the anticipation, and then we deliver some bizarre, anger-driven, tears exploding out of the face foyer show.
Maybe you just needed to get
Money
some
can't
tears
buy.
out.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
I secretly, unbeknownst to myself, sabotaged my own show in the dead of night before, cutting the cable to the projector.
Would you put that past yourself?
No, I think that sounds like something I would do in this current phase of life. Yeah,
right.
Gunning for failure now. I've tried hard for success all this for a long time. Strived. See, if I want to fail,
they're all valid words.
Yeah.
You can make up words on this podcast too. I don't mind that.
Fantabulous. Someone's done that before.
Yeah. Spunktilious. Good.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's sticking.
I actually forgot to... I haven't even introduced you. This is Anya Anastasia. How are you?
Hi, I'm Anya Anastasia. It's a pleasure to be here.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Correct. Anastasia, yeah.
Anastasia.
Yeah, like with star in it. Because I was going to be Stasia, but
That's how I say it.
Anastasia. Is
I've
that?
only seen it written on paper.
You just said Anastasia though,
Did I?
didn't you?
Yes.
You're a
I
classy
totally did.
man.
I
You've
totally
got that
did.
Adelaide
I'm
pronunciation.
one classy motherfucker.
You are.
Attitude consultant.
Consulted.com.
Only it's been way too long. Because we've known each other for 10 years, I
10,
realised.
yeah.
10 fucking years.
Goodness gracious.
How does time fly?
Time flies. It flies fast. I remember you were the guy that would just commit to a role so 100% that the ridiculousness of the role had to be extreme to do justice to your commitment to that.
Wasn't it Coconut Dave was my first first role? I had a lot of fun with that.
That was great, yeah.
Yeah,
Just a coconut on your head,
Yes.
dancing around in a Hawaiian skirt.
I didn't have the gutty that I have now. So I reckon we should bring back Coconut Dave.
Yeah.
The guts.
Or what was you were the Queen of Hearts or something once, or you were a card, a
the King
giant
of
card,
Hearts.
King of Hearts.
The King of Hearts, yeah,
Just
that's right. I'd
eating
eat-
cards.
That's right. That was more cabaret stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was good. That was dramatic.
Dramatic.
Very dramatic.
Would you?
And figure eight, I miss eight, number eight. Number eight, what a
I miss
classic.
8 too. A dog ate it.
Oh,
How funny is that?
I got eight.
And I think one night I did it when I had a giant cake, and I was the 8 eating cake. I just poured cake all over myself.
Good times.
I think your dad heckled me that night.
He heckled
He
you?
heckled the shit out of me.
Jeez.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Andy. How are you, mate?
Hi, Andrew.
And Susie, how are you folks going? You staying with them?
They're good. No, I'm
Yeah.
not staying with them this time, but they're, they're doing their thing up in the hills.
Yeah.
Gardening and, that kind of fun stuff.
Going well for them?
Keeping their eye on the chooks. They have to babysit the chooks, let them out and guard them against the foxes and sit there. And Dad's making his own beer, and it's all very good.
Very rewarding.
Very rewarding.
Yeah.
All that good stuff that you get to do when you have a bit more time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So they're creating shit and you're destroying shit.
There, still.
Yeah. What were we talking about before about you failing at failure? That was interesting.
Well, we're
Yeah.
trying to quit.
You're trying to quit.
I quit in one big, that's it, I've had enough, I'm quitting. I'm going to do something else with my life. Life is short.
Yep.
Just turned 30 and, maybe I was reflecting on all of these lofty goals that I had when I was younger, and then just going, I don't want to just keep going on this path because I started on it. It's time to take stock. I don't think I got where I wanted to get, so and
Really?
I don't know how long it's going to take to get there. Well, maybe I'll try something else. And so I quit, but then I had all of these feelings about quitting, and I then decided to write a show about quitting. So here we are again, back at the Fringe, 10 years in a row.
You can't get away from it, can you?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I kind of, weirdly, I ticked all of the boxes as far as a killer Fringe season is concerned last year. Both my shows got 5 stars, and they got 3 awards, and one was a touring grant.
Hey, can I stop you right there? How the fuck was that failing?
But I think it's...
But isn't that success? Isn't that what everyone's driving for? Maybe it's, is this all there is? Is that more of it?
Well, I don't know. You still go. Oh yeah, but to achieve that and to get those numbers, you have to spend a lot more money, and you're pouring your time and energy into creating this whole advertising machine to wrap around your work that you're doing and all of that stuff, and then so you're still dealing with these very tight margins and getting to the end and being drained from the roller coaster. But then I'm really enjoying this time because I'm like, okay, well, maybe the thing that's killing me is I have outrageous expectations. So my new life motto is lower the bar, nail it every time.
Yeah, that's right.
Aim for a bit less and just enjoy attaining that.
Can I say something to you, Anya?
Yeah.
Maybe you just need to stand still for a little while and just relaxing.
Yeah.
'Cause you're running through probably 3 or 4 personalities, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Would I assume correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And I remember chatting to you going back 10 years ago. We were sitting down, we wrote our fucking goals down.
Did we?
We wrote them down on butcher's paper at some
That's organised.
shitty restaurant.
Oh, good.
I'm pretty sure that what you achieved started as writing it down on that fucking piece of butcher paper.
Yeah.
I think you achieved most of it, and I think what happened is it's like, well, the ups and the downs are too much. I don't know, am I right here?
Maybe, but I'm also like really enjoying this show, or the one that I'm working on now, as like really just like I want to talk about. Like, we're all so busy talking about, oh, I did this and it was very successful, and oh, look at me, I'm nailing this brunch that I made, or, you know, or everything that you hear about, obviously. Successful people are very overrepresented in media because no one ever interviews people there.
Yeah.
You know, just wallow in obscurity, not achieving their goals. So I'm kind of enjoying the opportunity to go, hey, let's talk about all of the things that didn't go to plan, or things that I fucked up, or things that I feel embarrassed about or shitty about. Because, you know, rather than manicuring the image, just be like, yeah, hey, this didn't work out at all, so... And I've been trying to research like famous failures, but it's the only time you ever, you know, read an article about someone who failed is when eventually they succeeded. So if you want to find someone who just continuously failed, it's much harder to find source material because they're pretty obscure.
Well, you're talking to the right guy, aren't you? Present. That's great. I really like that. I'm finding the same with the podcast. Let's show the ugly shit. Let's show the behind the scenes. And you're finding people taking that well?
I don't know, I haven't performed it, I'm too scared. I mean, it's supposed to be ready on Friday. My first performance of it is on Saturday, and in theory...
Oh, it's another show?
It's a new show, yeah.
What's it called?
It's called The Show. I couldn't think of a better title, so... Went with that.
I like it. It's self-titled.
The show, yeah. So, but you know, usually I do little like test runs, trial audiences. But I mean,
you're at the Miley Lounge here right now, which is basically designed for a test crowd.
Is it?
Yeah. So maybe you could do a little
for all the Mileys. I'll go get
rehearsal in front of Miley.
I do have my ukulele in the car.
Oh, fantastic! Well, you're most welcome to bring that out and have a little rehearsal.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll just put canned laughter in.
Oh yes, great. Or some booing, you know? Because I think that's the thing. Booing. Like, it can go wrong, can't it? Once you give yourself permission for things to go wrong, then if they go wrong, you're nailing it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sounding like a fucking broken record here. I say this in pretty much my last 5 or 6 episodes. But if you're just continually putting content out there and not worrying about the feedback, you're just making fantastic content. And you can be your own self-critic. And then I reached that point where I just don't give a fuck, and I don't give a fuck about not giving a fuck.
That's good. That's a good point.
Like, it's liberating.
Yeah, that's good.
It's just letting go. And you've experienced this, which would be an ultimate nightmare for a lot of people. Call that's your dark place. That's your bottom line. It's all up from there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then what about the other way around, when you're like, you get all of the things that you wanted, and then you go, oh, well, I'm going to go back and do it again next year. Like, well, I guess it's all downhill then. Yeah. That's a good time.
Maybe it needs to be a time of celebration.
Yeah, true. Yeah. This is true. Well, I think that's it. You kind of just go, oh, fuck it. And then you're just going to take more risks and go, like that. That's what I felt. It's like, oh, I've got nothing to lose. Yeah. You know, just come back and do another one and say what I want to say and not worry too much about the feedback. And
you're telling your story. No one can take your story away from you, Anya. I mean, I'm at the reach of a point where people are trying to take all my shit away from me. But it's like, no, you can't take away that.
What are people trying to take from you?
Oh,
let me at them.
House.
The house?
The fucking bank tried to take the fucking house.
Bastards.
Yeah, the bastards. This place is run by a committee of fucking I don't know how to make a single valid decision.
Oh, gosh.
But basically what I did is I went into the meeting and I just presented them with my butt cheeks and said, when you guys are finished, bill me for the condom. And then I walked out. And then I haven't been to a meeting since. I think I've text messaged a couple of the committee members saying, sorry, I can't make it. I'm at home punching myself in the balls right now.
Things I'd rather be doing.
Yeah, that's right. 3 years for a new fucking balcony, Anya. 3 fucking years. Collecting the funds. But actually, I really forgot to do it. I need to run you through a safety check to start. Can I get you just to sign in for me, please?
Sure, yeah. I didn't bring any high vis, but...
No, I do have a high vis for you.
I do actually wear high vis on days where I am writing as well, because I tend to walk out in front of cars and do silly things.
Oh, okay, that's... Well, if you could just sign in for me, I'm going to assign you with a visitor's pass.
I am here.
Yeah, you're here. There's your visitor's pass,
Anya.
in case anyone asks.
Thanks,
Anya.
Great.
Alright, and I just have to let you know where the fire exits are.
Yeah, sure. Where's
So,
that?
in the case of a fire, we all go out there and we all congregate out the front.
Right.
I hate being liable for other people's shit.
It's ridiculous.
No one's taking fucking responsibility anymore, Anya. Are you finding that?
No one's taking responsibility? Yeah.
For anything?
No, this is true.
They just want to handball the liabilities onto someone else, some poor fucker like me.
And are you stepping up?
I'm stepping up. I almost played the card. I've always wanted to win on merit.
Yeah.
It was a proud thing, almost to the point where after I got sick, I denied that I was sick. Like, that was my way of coping with it, was actually just denying that it exists. That I'm better. Like, I never had a dream or anything like that. Like, I had flying dreams, I dreamt of walking, and eventually I did. I just couldn't handle it. It's like, no, this is not my identity, this is not who I am. Like, as you develop characters, I use that as a way of coping and surviving. Yeah. Like, formed a better version of myself.
Yeah. Do you think that helped you to reach it and get through it, or do you think there are some things that, you know, made it more difficult to not acknowledge certain things, or?
I think it helped.
Yeah.
But then I think the trauma may have created that.
Yeah.
Like, people talk a lot about how it creates a split, and then you've got this kind of undeveloped and then overdeveloped side of yourself, and you become a bit fragmented. Mm. This is just what I've been told.
I always write characters to explore, like, extreme parts of myself, and usually it's about some, you know, I'm dealing with a subject matter that I'm thinking a lot about but don't quite understand yet, and then I feel like the creative content of the work and the characters have lessons to teach me, and they know what I don't know, because I think, you know, you do have those two aspects of yourself. You have your conscious day-to-day present in the world self, but that's so taken up with all of the, you know, the things dealing with real life and you know, all of that. But then you do have your subconscious, which seems to live in the future and knows a bit more about where you're heading and knows a bit more about your true self. And that's the place that the characters and alter egos essentially come from, dreamed up from that subconscious, and that is informed by your deeper knowledge of yourself and your knowledge of where you're actually going, which your conscious brain doesn't always know.
Okay. So you're learning about yourself. Learning. Fantastic.
And then like creating something that you can learn from, like letting people in, letting people close, is also full of wonderful surprises, and they can perceive or see things about you that you don't know until you have something pointed out gently.
Yeah. Oh, has that been going on a bit lately, has it?
No. I mean, Fringe's festival time, generally speaking, is it puts everything on trial, doesn't it? I imagine it's like building a house with a partner, or you know, when just like, you know, or having children, or you know, whatever it is. Like everyone's tired. There's like constant external demands. Yeah. It's generally a make or break time.
Yeah, the Fringe reminds me of, like, I get this image of around Fringe or festival time is all these seagulls and pelicans just flying around.
Noisy bunch, aren't they?
Noisy bunch of they are. You got the seagulls.
So greedy. There's only so many chips to go round.
There is. And you got all the artists of the seagulls fighting over the chips, and then you've got the pelicans of the producers and all that. And
no, do you know what you do have, though?
And holding them in their beak, just going, there you go, you can have a couple, I'll have the rest.
Yeah, and you've got a few chip shops that are just fucking raking it in.
Yeah, that's right. I really have to watch it. Like, I can't slam the Fringe, because the Fringe has done a lot for me. But, you know, I had the successful Adelaide the musical, and after that I just took the piss. I did shows designed to because it was fun. It was about the art and the paperwork. Like, that. I
thoroughly enjoyed those explorations of yours. Hilarious.
Yeah, Tirana for sale.
Well, I've really enjoyed Tirana for sale. Did you sell it? Did you make a sale? So you're just using the Fringe Guide as an advertising thing to sell your car?
To sell my car, but I didn't have the car.
It was someone else's car.
Well, I basically listed it because I thought it was a joke. That I was reading through it. It looked like the fucking Trading Post with everyone doing their listing. And I thought that'd be funny to sell a Tirana because it's kind of bogan. And I did the whole thing. I had to get public liability insurance. I had to register my house as a venue. and it was at Angus Street, so I did a whole write-up on Sir Fife of Angus and stuff. And I was really drunk when I came up with the idea.
Did you get some offers?
I did because I signed a number. I went out and got a new mobile phone and got a separate number. So I listed that. I didn't list my personal number on there. And I didn't have a car, so I went up on eBay and I think I nabbed one right at the last minute. So $750. I bought this Tirana and the fucking wouldn't start. I had to get moved from Tail and Bend, so I had to hire a truck trailer.
Wait, so you've registered your house as a venue.
Yeah.
You've bought a car.
Yeah.
You've done your own press release, and
Yes.
you've paid for your public liability insurance.
Yeah, I had to go through all that.
And you probably, arguably still stand to lose less than if you put on an actual show.
Yeah, I only lost $1,500.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a good result.
It was fun. It was good. People talked about it. And
Bertie Beetle, though, I remember you ran into some trouble doing a show that cost $2. Because
Yeah.
when people were booking the show, there was a $2.50 inside charge. So you had to pay 50 cents every time someone booked. Stop booking tickets!
One of the art directors deleted me on Facebook after that show. You know how it goes to print normally around December, January?
Yep.
But I'd paid for it and then I kept making changes. But I wasn't trolling, I was just so fucking OCD. It'd be like I wanted to change a comma to a hyphen, so then I'd like email it back to him and go, that's fine, Rowan, yeah, approved. And that went on for weeks. But I wasn't trolling, I was just that OC fucking D.
Yeah, and you've got to get it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's your elevator pitch right there.
Yeah.
That's your 50 words. You've got to make them all count.
Fucking oath.
And you've got to make them grammatically correct.
Well,
I mean, this is not a joke. Oh, it is a joke, but we take jokes very
Oh,
seriously.
fucking oath we do, Anya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not here to fuck spiders.
Oh, it's none of that Mickey Mouse shit.
No way. No, sir.
This is serious show business.
That's right.
No, that was Bertie Beetle. That was fun, wasn't it? The World's End Hotel.
Except your arms kept falling off.
Yeah, that was. That was made. The original one was made from PVC piping.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Affordable beetle material.
Yeah.
I made a hat out of arms holding iPhones, my selfie headdress.
I saw that.
It's about 8 different arms all holding a phone that lights up. The prototype was pretty heavy, kept giving me migraines, so had to revisit that. Build it out of foam with the help
So you use polystyrene?
help from an expert.
Use polystyrene foam and a bit of...
Like the expanding foam, the builder's expanding foam.
correct.
But I had an expert help there. I had to call in the serious hat making department.
Nice. So you used that in a mould, did you?
Cast around an actual arm.
Yeah, and that was much lighter, would give you migraines.
Yeah, much lighter. Still catches the wind as a bit of a sail though. On the platform hills on the cobblestones of Edinburgh, it's pretty hard. Here there's, it gets very... You've been to the Edinburgh Fringe, haven't you? It's
Yes,
very
I have.
packed full of people and
Yeah.
everyone's trying to get up the cobblestone paths in a hurry and there's just humans everywhere. And, I do remember there was this one person stuck behind me on the phone saying, look, I'm coming as quick as I can. And I'm stuck behind an albino giraffe. I was there with my iPhone antlers and teetering along in my platform white heels.
What are you saying with that piece? It's a part of your new show.
Yeah, that's for the executioners. It's all about the living through your phone and the vanity of modern life.
Yes.
So the selfie headdress, the selfie showgirl, is quite a I like it. It's quite a fun character.
It's been 30 minutes without your phone. How are you handling that at the moment, Anya?
Yeah, look, I'm feeling a bit stressed. You can see a bit of sweat on my forehead.
Yeah.
So.
So tell me about Edinburgh. Tell me about how many times have you been to Edinburgh?
Three's
Three
enough.
times?
Three's
Yeah.
is too many. It's enough.
It's enough. You've had enough.
Yeah, it's had enough. Definitely had enough. I think that, everyone... I was like, I'm going to be different. I'm not going to be the person that complains about it and bitches about it and eventually, throws it all in and says the model is broken and it's exploitative and... I'm going to be the one that, understands the system and takes advantage of it and uses it for my own gains, and I'm going to be one of the winners.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty much in that same boat of everyone who's like, the model's broken, they're exploiting the artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of... Yeah. You only have so much... I had quite a lot of enthusiasm, which probably meant that I got into deeper shit than a lot of people. Just keeping up that energy and enthusiasm, like, yeah, I'll just give it another go, or yeah, I'll just go out and pour a bit more of myself into it. And
interesting. So most people have given up, and you've still got the energy to get back up on.
Yeah, then everyone says, all these horrible quotes like, success is going from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Like, that doesn't sound like a great.
What does success mean to you?
Oh, well, that's changed a lot in the last couple of months writing this show.
Yeah. What does it mean to you now? No, it's the ups and the downs. You would find that.
The ups and the downs.
The ups and the roller coaster. Like, like you were there when I went through all of that shit, that health stuff.
Yeah.
That it made me funny afterwards. I wasn't funny before that. I thought I was, but I wasn't. Like, there's nothing funny about getting on stage and telling dick jokes. There's no substance to that.
Yeah.
Like, no one gives a fuck. Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
It's perspective.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Did you want another coffee?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Chucky. How are you happy with where it's going? Is there anything you want to talk about? Because I just free flow.
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
I
fine.
just do hours of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just cut it down to 30 minutes.
No worries. Yeah, talk about whatever. Anything you want to talk about?
No, I have no agendas.
Mm.
It's funny talking about Birdie Beetle. Talk about that for a while. Yeah.
So good.
Yes. Okay. I'm still more interested in what you said before, and you're about failing at giving up, failing at quitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to do? Do you have an end point?
I think that's all kind of in the air at the moment for me. I'm taking stock. I'm just going, yeah, do you know what? I've always thought that what I'm doing now is deeply and intrinsically linked with who I am. Yep. And I've just had a moment, I've stopped to think about that for a while and just gone, do you know what? I completely exist outside of what I do, and my creative drive and my social conscience and all the other things that I'm currently using my performance as an outlet for is all going to manifest somehow or other, whatever I'm doing, and it doesn't have to be this. So just letting go of having identity so desperately linked with one version of yourself, yep, for me is quite liberating. And that's where you kind of, for being an artistic temperament, I have to do it melodramatically and say, I quit, that's enough, I'm out. But yeah, there are certain parts of me that I know that I can't discard. I'll always be a writer, always be a performer in some capacity.
Yes. Yes.
But, definitely failing at quitting, because I think there's certain elements of what we do where it's like an abusive relationship. It's like you keep going back because that hard work and the feeling of suffering through that, yep, grueling experience is what that's, that becomes how it gets this weird...
You condition yourself to cope with it.
Yeah, and then you think that's what you need to feel like you're working, or to feel like you're doing something, or to feel like you're relevant or there. It's like you get used to that pain of experience or that grueling kind of punishment. And then you just keep going back for more punishment because you know, when you feel nice and relaxed, then you feel guilty. You're like, shouldn't I be suffering?
Yeah.
And so just trying to break that cycle, and it's really addictive. You just go, you know, you go, okay, that's it. I'm not going to do that this year. And then you just find yourself signing up for it all again.
Oh, you're writing that contract.
Failing at quitting.
When was the last time you had a holiday and didn't work?
Oh, I've actually had quite a nice little break since Edinburgh Fringe, although it's still, you know, you still spend that time processing and writing the new show, but I've been doing it more and more exotic locations. So I don't know if that counts.
It does.
It does.
Yeah. No,
It's nice. As a freelance, like, worker, or, you know, as a freelancer, you sometimes forget that you can choose where you work from. It doesn't have to be a little den in a little artist collective in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. It can be on a beach in paradise with a ukulele and a cocktail, and you're still creating good content and doing
amazing.
good work.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Do you draw a lot of your inspirations from your external environment, or is it all in your own head? 'Cause I can just imagine you roaming free in your mind.
I do. Yeah, I do. And I think, you know, it's a nice place to be. So you can do it from anywhere. I think it influences it. But it doesn't you know, where you are can change the tone. Maybe you write in a slightly more upbeat or, you know, more major key. More happy sounding chords if you're doing it in the sunshine, whereas if you're in the rain or in the dark, maybe it changes the tone a little bit of the music. But
that's good. Have you always been like this? Have you, like, as a child, did you spend a lot of time indoors, or?
No, yeah, always an outdoor adventurer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're brought up in the hills, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stirling. Is that where you were you born in Stirling?
Near Stirling, yeah.
Near Stirling?
Yeah, in Longwood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, traipsing around, collecting things from the natural world.
Yes. The earth child that you were?
Correct.
Nice. And you still do, at Stirling on you do start Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, I do the Stirling Laneways market, like community market.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. Get dressed up, make costumes out of flowers or leaves or whatever. And
is that your baby? Did you come up with that?
No, it was actually, so I co-run it with wonderful lady called Beck Francis, who runs all the market side of things, and I run the entertainment side of things. But it was dreamed up by the Stirling Business Association to try and draw people up to the hills, and we rolled it out for them, which is cool.
Right.
It's been going for a number of years.
Yeah. Well, my folks head up there quite frequently.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, they always like to go. Do a bit of a shop.
Yep.
Have some coffee.
Bit of a shop.
Bit of a shop. Yeah, they love it.
Very good.
So I said, I'll keep an eye out for my friend Anya.
Yes.
She'll be the one on the ukulele. Or whatever. What else do you do there?
I run around in outrageous costumes, looking busy.
Yeah. Nice.
You know, I quite enjoy the idea of, like, you know, coming back to Adelaide Fringe this year and not spending a cent on advertising and, you know, rolling out a show that's maybe not quite finished and just going, okay, I had my big year last year. It felt really good. I felt really satisfied. But rather than stop there, rather than end with a bang, I'd like to sort of fizzle out.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm coming back. I like to fizzle out.
Yeah,
I like to do something just for me, not to, like, you know, tick all the boxes. Just do it my way and have a little quiet chuckle with a few people in the audience and kind of...
I like it. I really do like it. It's like going for a really heavy marathon and then just ending on a little light jog so you don't abruptly stop.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking muscle.
Yeah, exactly. You got to do, this is the little warm down bit.
Yeah, warm down for Anya.
So
warming down with two shows though, for fuck's sake. Two completely different shows.
Yeah.
One is highly polished and the other is what you were saying is just storytelling. Is that right?
Well, yeah, it was... You know, I was like, okay, that's it. My final show. I'm going to write a show that is my final show. And it's autobiographical about this process, about how I think, you know, because when I was young, I was like, okay, I am good. You know, the teachers were like, wow, she's really smart. You're really smart. You can do anything. What do you want to do? You could be a politician or a journalist. Why don't you go do sciences? And then I was like, I want to change the world. And they were like, yeah, that's really great. You change the world. How do you want to change the world? And I was like, with cabaret. And they were like, what's that?
Yeah.
And then I was always convinced that, through writing satirical, cutting, critical, socially critical script and work as per the historical purpose of cabaret, that you could influence and change society. That was like my big dream of what cabaret can do. But, now I've realized after dedicating fucking 10 years of my life to it, that no one knows what cabaret is. People think it's just, washed up old Broadway singers refusing to put down the microphone and swaggering around a big piano in a pretty dress.
That's a bit cool saying no one, though.
No, there's, I think it's niche. And also...
But that's good. You can do that online, people all over the world.
Yeah, but I think I've come to the realization that what I'm doing isn't cabaret. And I've just been like, hey, you guys who do cabaret, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's not cabaret, this is. And and trying to drag it over to me rather than go, hey, maybe what I do isn't cabaret, and it's time to ditch that
maybe you just
label.
Say I don't give a fuck about cabaret. At the moment I'm doing pub quizzes and bingo, but I don't give a fuck about quiz and bingo. I'm just paying my bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, Anya. That's exciting.
It's exciting.
You got a mobile phone, you got an internet connection.
Yep.
Just keep making shit.
Gonna keep making shit.
Because your brain won't stop, I know that. You go to bed, the brain doesn't switch off.
Doesn't.
Yeah, so just keep fucking pouring your shit out. Be prolific with it.
Yeah. Music.
Music?
Just keep writing music.
Keep writing.
And, yeah.
That's the only
Keep
answer,
writing.
I think.
Craft, yeah. See, that's the thing, and I've just gone, that's it. It's my final show.
Yeah.
But then it's also the best songs I've ever written, because obviously you get better. So it's like, oh, damn. I think this is going to...
Have you reached that point where you don't give a fuck what other people think yet?
I do, yeah. I mean...
You've reached that point?
I've reached that point.
Fantastic.
I didn't think I'd get here.
Yeah.
I thought I'd always care,
Yeah.
Having that performer ego where you want to please, you want to make people laugh, you want to bring people on board. I didn't think I'd reach this point, let alone at 30. But here I am.
And when you got your awards, did they come at the moment where you didn't care about awards? Because that's ironic.
No, they came at a moment where I really, really cared, and then afterwards I went, "What did that do? What did that change? Nothing." And that kind of helped bring about the not caring.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, okay.
It's like, well,
it's like, yeah, well done.
What
does it mean?
Next year
yeah.
With a little quill.
Isn't it weird? Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but you had to get it to realise that you didn't give a fuck about it. Now that you got it, you're like, oh, well,
that sounds properly spoilt, doesn't it?
Yeah, now I can move on.
That sounds like ungrateful and spoiled. Like, whatever, just toss it in the trophy room.
Yeah. It could be an attitude problem, Anya.
I think it might be.
Maybe
I'm overdue a consultancy appointment with the attitude consultant, that's for sure. This has been a long time coming. You seem to have a pretty good attitude.
Do you think so?
Yeah, very good. Just doing what you want for your own reasons, and aware of the practicality of trying to make it work and trying to, whatever that means, pay the bills or,
sure.
But you definitely seem to have a good attitude to like creating stuff that you are into and saying something that is relevant to you and finding your voice in comedy or in whatever it is.
Yeah.
As a creator, as a content creator.
Thank you. That means a lot. And you were saying before, you're not spending any on advertising. I saw on socials that you're going paperless. Is that right?
Yeah, no flyers. I mean, that's the thing. I was in Edinburgh and it's just like, there are 3,000 shows on at the same time, and I was encouraged by the venue to print 5,000 flyers. 5,000 pieces of paper. And you think of the amount of shows that are doing that, and you see bins full of flyers that people have taken politely and then discarded, and you see desperate artists out there just trying to, me included, trying to get the last few, trying to get a few people in to see the show, and I'm just overwhelmed with this feeling of waste. It just feels like, it feels like a complete overindulgent waste of paper to just print your face on 5,000 bits of paper and you know?
Yeah.
But it also feels like, it feels like a waste of energy, like trying to convince people to come to a show. Like, why not, you know, find somewhere where art is wanted, or where, you know, entertainment is people are starved of it and they want it, or, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm pouring all of this energy into making someone turn up and come and see what I do. But I'm also pouring all of this, like, earth resources into it. And for what? To serve my ego in that moment of wanting a few people in the room? Like, nah, I think I'd rather... Now, I'm not printing flyers. I'm asking people if they like the show to tell people about it. And if no one comes to the show, you know, 3 hours of standing on the sidewalk every day, handing out bits of paper, if that's what it takes to make people come to the show, then I don't want to be doing that anyway. So if no one comes, and that's it. We stop doing that.
Yeah. And let's be honest, how many tickets have you ever sold by standing on the streets of Rundle Street or North Terrace with a fucking flyer?
Well, the fact is, you might get 5, you might get 10, and that might be your entire audience for that night. You know, if you're in Edinburgh Fringe, that's not uncommon. But then the other thing is, you hear all these stories at the moment of people, you know, I've done quite well at an Edinburgh Fringe and had, you know, between 70 and 100 people every night for a month. And that's pretty good when there's, you know, thousands of other shows on. But the fact that you can still get to the end of that and get a bill from your venue, and you know, and plenty of people do it. It's just like, wow, how can you have a sold out run, or you know, and still spend the next couple of years paying that off? It's like, what? Something's broken. Something's wrong here.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do we navigate broken systems?
And how do you stop feeding it? The fringe model is something I've been thinking a lot about lately, and everyone is under this impression that to do well, you have to champion it. You have to champion the model. Yeah. And then, you know, so, you know, here I am going, celebrating 10 years of Fringe, and here I am at the Fringe being successful. And then other young artists look up to me and they go, oh, that's the pathway Anya does, and she celebrates the Fringe, and then they get sucked into it and in their own way can be taken advantage of it. And that's partly why I'm doing this show as well, to say, hey, it's not all sunshine and roses, and you can get yourself in trouble and things can go wrong. And I think it's also my responsibility to talk about that.
Yeah, you're almost projecting a vortex, aren't you?
Yes.
I'm going down and I'm going to bring you all with me.
Yeah, it's like when people have kids and then they go, oh my God, this is really hard work. Hey, you guys should all have kids so that you can all suffer with me.
Well, where Edinburgh does the free Fringe, they've been doing that for decades.
Yeah, people seem to be doing quite well out of that.
I mean, should not the Adelaide Festival and the Adelaide Fringe amalgamate and then have a Fringe on the Fringe?
I don't know.
Honestly, I think that's the answer, is just Fringe joins forces with the Adelaide Festival. They do their highly polished shit, right, with their big producers and managers and stuff. And then you have this other one where the guys from the suburbs, you know, doing their rehearsals in the church halls can go out and do their own thing. I reckon that's the answer.
And also taking it to places where there's still an audience for it, you know, like, you know, doing Fringe in the hills and Fringe down at the coast, and, you know, where there's people hungry for shows. Yeah. Or capping the amount of shows that are in it. And
every year they've said this is the biggest Fringe ever. And it's like, in terms of fucking revenue. Yeah. But there's just more venues opened up, and there's more acts, more people in competition with each other, and more people that are performing to zeros of people. It's a narrative, or it's a story that keeps getting put out. It's bigger, it's better, it's bigger, there's more. And I think in this environment where people are getting more and more aware of, like, the cringeworthiness of that kind of language, whether it's about, you know, coming from an environmental perspective or coming from, you know, like, people are kind of starting to switch more into this sustainability headset, and that is, you know, you want less and you want quality, or you want, you know, or you want people to consider their impact, and, you know, not to have to constantly talk about exponential growth. Why not, like, say, hey, we've crafted a really quality experience. It's like, you know, why do we always have to focus on size? Yeah. And I actually think that the landscape is changing, and that people are sick of it, and that, you know, Do you think you have...
There is change coming, definitely.
Do you think you have responsibility, or you've been called to champion that change?
Oh, no, I think I'll piss people off by talking about it. But, no, but, you know, there's that big article that's just come out about, you know, people not being paid correctly, like, or people being absolutely exploited in the Edinburgh Fringe. And and then the Fringe CEO's response to that just being so heartless and like, oh, if we paid people a legal amount, then the festival couldn't go ahead. Like, we couldn't run on fairness. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, that's a big thing to say. Like, this is
We're not a fucking charity, mate. Jesus Christ.
This is you know, it's like, oh God. Yeah, all right. I think maybe, you know, and it's getting exposed, you know, that there are a select group of people who are making a lot of money and a lot of people who are losing it. There needs to be a bit more of a balance there. But then there are systems that you know, I think this is some of the systems that you're coming up against that you describe, we are not necessarily consumer driven. Like the thing is here with the Fringe thing, it's open access. We're creating the whole situation by keeping going back and not, you know, unionizing or forming this like movement that says, hey, this is actually what the conditions that we would like. It's like, no, just like a flock of sheep, everyone just goes back and does it again, or, you know, doesn't want to miss out or whatever it is, but it's still within our power. There's still enough of a democratic setup that it is driven by the very people that are complaining about it. So, but there are other systems definitely that is much harder to create change.
You're friends with the director Heather, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. What's she think about this?
I haven't actually chatted to her for a long time.
Okay.
You know, very, very busy and whatnot. But the thing is, you have to remember is that like she's amazing. She's very very
she seems amazing.
Open and very present and listens to artists, really listens to people and their concerns. But you have to remember that, and this is where it's, you know, it's a strange thing when an artistic director is also a CEO. You know, when you have those two roles combined, and you have to remember as well that like a large part of her job is about, you know, bringing the funding together, getting the sponsorship and the whole machine, and keeping every part of every wheel in that cog turning.
It takes people like us to understand where she's coming from and to know that there's a lot of things that she wouldn't be allowed to talk about. But I really think she would take a lot from speaking to someone like you, someone like yourself. I think she'd be open to listening to any of the feedback that you have.
For sure.
Yeah. I just love that the going papers. I reckon people are going to jump on with that.
Yeah.
I reckon that's going to become a
thing. Yeah, well, I put up one post about it and so many, I got such incredible response. So many people like, oh, I really want to do that, or congratulations, that's such a good idea. And then, you know, in that first post, like 50 people shared it and said, let's go paperless, let's help spread the word online. It's about wearing your integrity as well. It's like, you know, my show is about, like, it has environmental themes, it has social and political themes, so I have to apply that which I am preaching to that which I am practicing. Like, I can't then, you know, pour heaps of money into Facebook advertising, or, you know, or into just printing bunches of paper. It's like handing out pieces of paper to say save the trees. You know, you can't do that. It's not.
If you can get a return on your investment, then that's huge success. That's your best show.
The best show. Yeah.
If you can retain your sanity, then that's a success.
It is. Yeah.
Have you ever lost your sense of identity, just getting caught in so many characters and you haven't realised who you are as a person?
I did in my first season in 2010. I totally lost the plot. But you know, that's a lesson that you learn. You damage your relationships, and those ones closest to you suffer the consequences.
I think I remember that time.
Yeah, bit psychotic. But then, you know, you kind of, it leaves a mark, and you do the emotional work to make sure you stay a bit more self-aware in that time, and you build your strategies to come out of character after the show, and
no, that's good.
Keep track of what's important.
And that's what got you through?
Yeah, well, patient friends.
Well, before you plug your shows, what's
Yeah.
the darkest point in your life and how did you get out of it?
What's the darkest point in my
Your
life?
darkest, lowest point in your life and what got you through?
Probably following a very exhausting but rather successful by my immediate measure season of the Edinburgh Fringe, and there was such a huge build up to it. We had such a great Australian season here, and going into that festival with multiple 5-star reviews and everything that you want to have a great run, and then being sat down and convinced by the head of one of these major venues that I should go over and do the show there, and that they would cash flow all the expenses and roll out this big marketing campaign around the show, and they were really going to back it. And the enthusiasm that you have from someone important noticing your show and ready to put their energy into it, you're just on this high and perhaps a bit naive because you've been so hungry for that moment where someone says, hey, you're it, kid, we're going to make you a star. And especially when that person does come with this real weight behind their name, or they've been in it for a long time and you've heard about them before. So then doing that big season and struggling through illness through that season and just still turning up and doing the show every day and getting the great reviews and filling the house as well, but still not quite meeting the very high targets of to offset those enormous costs that are being cash flowed by the venue owners. Getting to the end of that extremely exhausting season, barely surviving, just did the final show, completely lost the voice. I'd been in and out of hospital throughout it, trying to keep my voice and my health, and just putting everything into that season and flyering during the day. And then getting to the end and going, yes, I made it. And we actually played to a pretty good crowd every night, and that's it. And now I get to go home and rest, and then sitting down with the venue at the end of that and them saying, okay, here's your bill for many thousands of pounds, and yes, we can negotiate a repayment schedule. And you feel like you've given everything to this show. And then to just go, I'm going to have to go now and find a way of repaying. Yeah, and then the crash that has, because energetically you've already given everything, and then there's a bill at the end of it that's going to seriously impact or maim you as far as what you can do for the next 6 months, a year, 2 years after that, depending on.
Do you think you thought this particular person cared about you or cared about your product, and then
absolutely, and they're salespeople, and that's what you don't think, because you it's a bizarre setup in that system where you feel like you're selling to them and they're buying it, but you're actually the customer. You're actually the one feeding into their business, and it's
They're pelicans, that's what they are. You're the seagull and they're the fucking pelicans holding the fish in their beaks. Motherfuckers.
Yeah, and then, and they say, too bad. I guess it was a big year for drag, or, they blame something else. And,
that's all right.
And then they go, oh, well, just tell everyone you had a successful season. It will help keep your career on track or whatever. This is I wonder how you can destroy the lives and careers of young artists as, to feed into your business model.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's wrong. It's totally wrong.
Yeah.
But, I guess there are success stories. I don't know, but it makes you question how real they are, because, you can have what is on paper looks like quite a good season. Through being there, you do get all of these other opportunities, and I got a lot of great seasons out of it. People that would buy the show, and you don't take any risk, and that kind of helps. You do find that there are pathways beyond that, but you've got to have the time and step outside of that fringe circuit to be able to seize those opportunities and move away from it.
So what are you going to do after this, Fringe? Do you have any plans?
Oh, I've got a really great album that's about to.
You said that.
Yeah, it's really good. It's probably the best thing I've made. I feel very proud of the songs and working
That's
with a
great.
great producer and and I just want to tour the music and maybe down the track there'll be another big production, but I don't think I'll be doing any these cabaret shows that I'm in doing. I think this is the last season for that. I'm going to go away and write more songs and find, perform in music festivals or find other contexts for my work, which isn't self-produced and which isn't quite so draining.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
How do you put yourselves in a mindset of writing? Is it you just record, like it's like I've got a thought here and you sit down and you just regurgitate it, or do you have to create a nice little setting and put yourself in the right mindset and give yourself some time for writing?
It's always different. I'm always, mine's always working, always thinking. Yeah. But, for melodies and that sort of thing, sometimes they drift into my head and I have to stop what I'm doing and then just go and spend some time at the piano. Or sometimes I will go, I've got something coming up, I'm going to sit down and spend the next 6 hours trying to smash something out and... there's those times where you just you work and you rock up and you do the hard work, you turn up and you sit down at your desk and nothing comes out, but you just keep thinking and writing all this crap. And then you do it the next day and you write all this crap and you do all this next day and you write all this crap. And then one day after a week of doing that and just processing all of the boring stuff, then you have those moments of gold where you're like, it all just happens. So, but it's always so different, the writing process.
But it's all in the editing, isn't it?
It's all in the editing.
That's what I'm finding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. What about admin? How do you put yourself in the mindset of admin? Because I'm really struggling with that at the moment. The creative writing's fine, but to actually sit down and do my invoicing and my tax and writing business plans or applying for funding, how the fuck do I put myself in that? Because I'm so distracted by all these ideas that go on.
Yeah, it's a similar thing. You just got to dedicate the time and rock up and do it. Well, certainly with emails at the moment, I'm just you have to answer it as soon as it comes in, else it just gets buried under the next.
Yeah, and with our phones, it's almost like we're eating lunch at the desk now, because there's no way of separating our socials from our important emails and that. It's all in this one fucking device.
Yeah. Yep. Get out and stare at the trees. It's the only way to escape it and have a proper lunch break. It's hard to divide your time up when you're writing and trying to keep the business side of things working and ticking over, and so it's all too much. Where's my personal assistant?
That's right.
You've got plenty of Mileys around here.
Well, yeah, that's right.
They don't pull their weight. Where's Admin Miley?
Admin Miley. Yeah, that's good. We need Admin Miley. What are your thoughts? You a Miley fan?
No.
No, you don't like that?
Well, no, I don't not like. I just, I guess I wouldn't cover my walls in it. That's all. Well, I should probably think about heading off at some point. I've got to get my shit together, finish writing my show. Yeah,
finish writing your show. Anything, did you just want to finish on your plugs and I'll...
Oh, yeah, sure. Keep an eye out for my new album and follow my Facebook page, Anya Anastasia.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in, Anya.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's been great chatting to you.
Oh, bit of a whinge. We had a bit of a whinge, didn't we?
Mate, it's a good fucking whinge. All right. Thanks, Anya.
Thank you.
I'll see you in 10 years.
No!
Energy Consultant is produced by Ryan Harry and distributed by the Ozcast Network.